everyone, and welcome back. We're back again. Storm here.
Come here.
We have a Titan in our midst. Oh no. So we're going to be watching more Attack on Titan today. We're on episode 3, and I do have to see this title.
Choke on one of these things.
Did you eat enough? Yeah,
Choke
don't.
on
Yeah,
it.
don't. That's how the
Titan
Titans
floss?
die, because
Sure.
they choked. Wait, Titan floss? They
Well,
probably
yeah,
use
must have people
ropes,
stuck in their teeth
or
every
maybe
now
even
and then, right?
chains. Ew. The better kind of floss. You have woven floss, they use some chains.
Get more stuff out.
This
Get the
great.
bones out.
Those little-
What's
those
her
little pictures
hygienist
of-
like? Anywho, today's title is called, I wrote it down, and I minimized the screen. We're going to be watching on Crunchyroll today. I love that name, Crunchyroll.
I love that name.
Yeah, me too. And Kim is new to anime, as most of you know, so this is great to watch this together.
Really?
And the titles are really freaking long. So this one's called A Dim Light Amid Despair, Humanity's Comeback Part 1. So it's a very good title, but man, like, we're used to very short titles in all the
Humanity's
shows.
comeback.
Welcome to the real world.
Yeah, so they're going to start fighting back, and the people who've had training, kind of, like, they haven't really experienced fighting giants, fighting titans, right? So
Well,
they're
they
going to
haven't had
have
a Titan
to...
attack in, what, 100 years?
Yeah, and now Eren, he is grown up, right? Or he's a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's older.
He's older.
He's older, and he joined.
And he joined, so
With
He joined?
hopefully he'll be a
Kasha
good
joined?
fighter. So
Armin
one thing...
joined.
Yes, and one thing I wanted to mention last time was really, like, weird was the fact that Eren had the freaking key. It, like, confused me because his father
dream
left with the
sequence.
key,
It
and
was
then he had a
dream.
dream sequence, and I'm like, did he have the key? Was there a moment that we didn't see where he took it from the dad? But he was also struggling with the dad. And didn't the dad have a syringe?
He injected him with something.
Yeah.
I think he had a syringe or something. I was like, what the freak is going on? So that was
Did
a
he actually
really weird
see him
dream.
then? And then the injection might have maybe, I don't know, made him unconscious again or something? Or
Maybe. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
he's got
because
the
that
key
was a
now.
weird jump. So he has a key now, so that had to happen in between. Because he said mom died or something. He talked about the death of the mom.
So what do you think is in the basement? I think it's a rum cellar.
That would be sweet. Hey, if we're going to go
I'd
out,
be there.
yes. Some kind of secret weapon he was building.
I don't know. Why would he be building a weapon out there? Haven't been attacked in 100 years unless
Because he's trying to prepare.
for the
Maybe they are
inevitability.
preparing.
Yeah, 'cause-
Maybe they have rations down there. Who knows?
Maybe, yeah.
Another
Or maybe
mom?
there's a secret tunnel system, because I was
Another
saying they should have some kind of fail-safe. Like, you have these
No
giants
kidding.
out there,
After
Titans.
100 years, I'd be doing a tunnel.
You know, you can't just go blind to things because, like,
Yeah.
that's going to suck.
It's
Look how easy
inevitable.
this was. You have this one muscle-like Titan that completely just demolishes walls. It's humongous, disappears. That's all it does, a battering ram. And then
But
you
they
have
haven't
all the
seen that
Titans
one
take
before
over.
until
Yeah.
recently.
But still,
Why
you have
is
these
he
whole,
different?
like, these
Yeah, I
huge
mean, we'll just-
giants.
Well, their survey corps that goes out and fights the Titans. They're still out there fighting them, so you would think
Yeah.
they would have some kind of a failsafe.
Yeah,
Except
just
for that
something.
one
I
boat
mean...
and that one entrance to go to the next wall.
Because if you think about it, common sense is if one gets through, it takes out many. And for one to get through, the wall has to be gone, or they climbed it, jumped it, learned how to do that. So then multiples are going to learn how to do that eventually, and then you're all done for. So I would totally like to have a fail-safe of
And
just
it's-
in
yeah.
case.
And it
Otherwise,
is.
we're
It's
screwed.
breached now, so they're going through it.
Wall to wall, so...
Mm.
Yeah, it's crazy too seeing the outer walls. You have the poor people, one's on the outer wall, and they're just like, they're
Yes.
screwed trying to be in the middle wall, and they're all fighting because they don't have enough rations and stuff, and now they have to learn to work together and figure this out, you know?
Their space got really cramped really quick.
Yeah, and then when it goes into the last wall, like what's going to happen there, and they're like the ones who are
And
like,
that wasn't
"Oh,
even all the
nothing's ever
people,
gonna-"
too. They said, thousands of people, were left in the first wall.
Yeah, so many
lot
died.
of
They said a
people
ton
died.
of people died, yeah. So I think we should get into this. It's part 1. We're probably going to leave on a cliff note and be like, oh no, you wanted to watch the next one.
That means you have to subscribe to see the next one.
We do watch stuff a week early on Patreon or more, so you can definitely, bonus, catch our stuff early. So our Zoom just froze and our Windows probably changed up. Oh, so everything's good.
Where am I?
Where'd we go? It's those darn Titans taking over. No.
They know
So
how to move windows?
I don't know. They can,
They can move
take
a
over a
lot.
lot of stuff, move a lot of stuff here. So let's go to episode 3. Again, we're watching the subtitle version of it, but I think we did well the first 2. We understood it and were able to, see what was going on. Look how bright I am now because I have Crunchyroll up and it's all white. All right, and the title I have, it says Humanity's Come Back, and in this one it says Humanity Rises Again.
That was Florida, the humidity is back.
The humidity is back. No. So we'll just go with it. Part
dim
one.
light
The
in
bees and the
darkness of
eagles.
despair.
It's like the first sentence they say.
That was impressive. That
It
was a huge jump,
He was
too.
determined.
I love how he was determined and he struggled and he failed, and it was all because he had a defective belt.
But he did pretty good for a defective belt.
He
Did
did.
he?
That was very cool. I really enjoyed that.
I like how Mikasa was like trying to light a fire under his ass just to try to keep him going.
Yeah.
She's
he was
very
so-
serious. She's always been
She
like
is.
that, but she's a good guidance for him.
Like, oh, almost like allowing him to give up, and that just burns him up. He's like, nope, you're not going to let me get away with that.
What about was it Sasha who had the potato and then took all the bread and stuff?
Yes. So she's a funny character
Bottomless
so far.
pit.
And
How long was she running for? I mean, it was 5 hours before the sun went down,
yeah,
and she was still going. So she ran for
Pretty
a
much
long
all day.
time.
until she dropped. So I thought maybe she would just drop eventually and be like, I'm done. But then maybe they would have tested her, or he would have known, like, oh yeah, you're not done yet. So now you have to do 5 more hours or something. But yeah, that was intense. And I guess it could be, I mean, that was pretty harsh, but at least she didn't, I don't know what else they can do to punish you, but
Just
I mean, she was
exercise,
eating a
really.
potato during this whole exercise and didn't care and kept eating it, then questioning him about, like, well, you're asking me why people eat potatoes, like totally demeaning the whole thing. So even though she
It was
had like an
warm.
airheaded moment, I was like,
She's
oh,
right,
that's
though. Would
really
have been a waste
bad.
if she waited. Wouldn't
Yeah.
be warm anymore.
So we saw more, and we keep talking anime stuff just because Tom and I know anime. I haven't seen this before. Tom hasn't seen much of it. And Kim has like no experience with anime whatsoever. This is your first
Right.
anime. We saw Princess
Yes.
Mononoke on the channel a while ago, but that was it. So I'm curious on how you took this, especially with Sasha when she was.
I was going to bring her up.
She was hangry.
Very
'cause-
exaggerated, and it was hilarious trying to down that bread so fast. and
Yeah,
just
she had like
collapsed
evil
on the
eyes and
girl.
stuff. And not knowing anime, like I quickly made a joke there because I kind of assumed it was probably an anime thing, but I wasn't sure if you would think that, oh God, maybe she's possessed or something or has some kind of Titan ability
No, it
because
was just trying
she
to be
got
really
nasty.
exaggerated.
Yeah, and she just flew over there with crazy eyes and her eyes are red and then she was like, and she completely changed. So that was hilarious.
And even what she was saying to the girl, like, "Are you a god? Bread and water?"
Yeah. And the lines with the characters, like when something dramatic happens or intense, and they have like the still image and all the action lines taking place, and the image
Yeah,
is
it's like
shaking.
Eren
It's like
succeeding
ah!
with the ropes. Yeah.
the energy's there. I really
Harness.
enjoy the energy in this. Like you feel how intense each scene is, like how the characters feel, and I like the new characters we're introduced to in this corp. Hopefully, they're all going to be strong. I mean, that's the hardest thing because Eren's the only one. Pretty much, besides that other guy that was talking, Rainer was it, that, telling these stories about their experience with Titans.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it, they said that they were in the southeast, so they were way in the back
Yeah.
of that wall. So they had no idea until the Titans showed up.
And we're still early on, of course, in the show, because I know it's a long show. I mean, we're only on episode 3, but I know it's a big place, but we're constantly reminded on how big this is. And I'm shocked every time, because even seeing that lake, we've seen that before, big areas of like water and land, and I'm like, is this still in the wall? And I know it is, but then I keep questioning, really? Like, they can't even see the other side of the wall somewhere? And this is how massive this place is. So it's
But
easy
when you
to
see
be
it
like,
from the
pay no
outside,
mind.
when you see it from the outside, it looks smaller.
Yeah.
Once you get in there and you see it, you're like, wow, this place is huge.
Yeah, they got millions of people in there, if not billions, right?
They must have like 45,000 Dunkin' Donuts around there.
They go over there,
Every
call their
corner.
Dunkin' Donuts
Or Starbucks.
or Starbucks or something. But I like the gear that they have. That's a pretty cool idea. Because how do you get around? You have these Titans.
How
You're
can
so
you-
Well, you have to
tiny.
get up to
How
them,
can you
so I mean,
defeat them? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you
And
had
get away from them quick too.
Yeah, 'cause-
engineering for like a flight. I don't know, something for flight, like that would be too extreme and too hard to get in time,
well,
so you need
I mean,
something
they
where
call
you
it
can-
three-dimensional maneuvering gear because
I
they
love
can
that name. I
shoot
can't
in
help
all
it.
They can
Go
shoot in
ahead.
all directions, so they can go, forward, backward, up.
I
They can
think
shoot
that's
everywhere they need to.
awesome. I think it's a great weapon to have. They could probably do other stuff as well besides just like getting around, which is a huge thing. But just the name of it, what is it? Three-dimensional
Three-dimensional
maneuvering gear?
maneuvering.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so literal, but I love it. So I'm just like, I don't know. We'll come up with
I wonder
another
what
fancy name for
I
it.
wonder what their ratio is. as far as getting them? Like how well do they do?
Maybe that's
You
your
know?
make or break. If you can't do it, you can't be a soldier, right? I don't know. Maybe you'd have to
Well, I
do
mean,
something
it
else.
becomes your body. I mean, it becomes your movement.
Yeah.
So it
Because
gets you
how would
in
you
and
get
out
the
quickly.
Titans, right? So if you couldn't do that, you wouldn't be able to kill Titans.
Well, you saw how high those Titans were, so you're gonna
Yeah.
have to,
So
grapple on the things that are taller than it.
that's the
Right.
deciding
That's what I'm saying.
factor.
Like, what's their ratio to kill a Titan? Like, what's their success rate?
Yeah, do they
Probably
have
not very
to?
high right now. I
Yeah.
mean, there's not many.
Mm-mm.
Their core was only the survey core, that, from what we know of. I mean, they had interior ones, but they didn't really do much. The
Mm-hmm.
military police which is what they're in right now. The military police.
Yeah.
They're just pretty much guarding the inside, but the survey corps is the one that goes out.
Oh, that's so
Yes.
scary. And it's interesting to hear their perspective too, because here you hear Army, you have these scary demonic type creatures, and I don't know like how much they know about these creatures, but I mean they've been surviving for 100+ years in these walls, but now like they have to go out. So it's interesting to see that like, okay, you're joining the army, you would automatically think you're going to risk your life to save others by going after these Titans, but you're at a huge risk because how often does one or many take down one Titan without any deaths on their end? So
Right.
to say like, I want to join the Survey Corps and because it'll keep you safe because you're in the inner wall is interesting because it shows you that like, oh look, we're being brave, we're showing that we're brave people, but we're really being cowards in a way because we want to be safe, so that's why we're going. Not that everyone's saying that, but that's what some
Well, two
people
of them
are
said
joining
that.
for. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So to hear that, it makes sense, so that way you have a brave face, you look good, and yet you're still safe because you're not going actually out
Yeah,
to.
one of the guys
protect
said that
people.
he wanted to join the military police because he wanted to be inside where it's safe.
Yeah.
The other guy said that he wanted to protect the king, so he
And
said
that's
pretty
where
much
the
same
general
thing,
like
but
headbutt him or whatever. What's his name? I keep missing his name, but he's so funny with the dark eyes. And I like him because he has to be tough because he's training these
Yes.
guys to be tough. Because not only are you in the military, you have these demonic huge Titans that eat our kind.
well,
Like
yeah,
this is insane.
it's not like you're dealing with regular people. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah,
regular
you
people
gotta
still
be
kill
tough.
the
rhyme or
mouse for you.
reason
These
you
guys
will
aren't.
die if they get you.
One wrong move, you're done. Like
Will
you're
be
going
eaten.
into a prehistoric, like savage world out there that
primitive.
there's no mercy out there for you. So you got to be tough. So I like him, and he was proud of Eren with his accomplishments.
Yes, he
like
was.
He's like, you did fine or whatever, and then he's like,
Well,
Especially
he was
with the
also very
defective
passionate
belt.
about it too.
yeah,
Mhm.
they talking to himself that he was like, oh, if your father could see you now or something. So he must have some kind of, I see your puppy. I saw your puppy for a second. I saw a tail.
A puppy
Tom
can-
has a husky, and he's so cute. And I think he's trying to go behind the backdrop there.
Yeah, he is.
He's going to go to sleep.
You can see
That's
him right
cute.
down there.
Oh, there he is.
Aw.
Hi. He's a
There he is.
piebald.
Oh yes, I see.
Piebald husky. Yay.
He's going on his bed.
Aw, I wish you could see him. It's like, where's the puppy? And then now he disappeared. But yeah, so I like the show so far. I know they have a scene at the end for the next episode, but I don't really want to be spoiled anyways because the show
Yeah,
is
we
short
don't wanna
anyway,
get
so we don't have
spoiled.
to worry about it. But thank you guys for being so supportive. I know it was really hard because when we put the poll up for subtitle versus dub, I was shocked in how neck and neck that was. I really was. And I hope you
Isn't that
guys can
incredible?
still appreciate or understand why we're doing sub because that's what won our polls. We could always change it up down the road, but I'm reading it just fine. And I can understand what's going on and I'm enjoying it. So I like the voices. They really do match the characters and
You can really hear the intensity in the voices too.
I like
which
that.
I'm not saying the dub wouldn't have that, but
yeah.
listen
And
to
just
the
going by the
originals.
fans, like
I like
there's
better.
so many opinions with that. And dub is easier to watch, I'm sure, but I love it when the voices are more realistic, especially for such a serious show. I definitely want to like really be in that moment, and I
Yes,
don't get distracted
I
by the
agree.
subtitles. I'm a pretty fast reader, so and I think you guys are too. But yeah, so I like it so far, and please let us know what
too.
you think of this, and be nice to each other in the comments though, because I know from you guys warning us before we started watching this that there's always like a sub-dub war. So guys, be nice to each other. We're trying to work this out in the best way possible for everyone. And yeah, so we're enjoying it. So thank you again for voting on this. And you can leave your opinions below because we're always listening. And we are ahead in our Patreon. So we do listen, but just give us some time to get back to you guys and try to make some changes where we have to. And we'll go from there.
That's
so
right.
thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you
Make
very
sure you
soon
subscribe.
as always. And please subscribe, guys. That
The
helps us out a
subscription
lot.
Titan's coming for you.
No! Or maybe yes, I don't know. Bye, guys.
One at a time.
Bye.
Bye.